Okay, so good morning, good evening, afternoon, everyone. Thank you for watching DevRelCon Tokyo 2021 interview sessions. I'm Ashi, head organizer of the conference. So in this time, I will introduce our awesome speakers and chat with them about their talk in 15 minutes. Today's guest is Jaap Brasser at Rubrik. Welcome, Jaap. Hi.
Hi, thank you very much.
Maybe you're early morning right now.
It's 11 o'clock over here, so it's not too early. I've been up for a couple of hours already.
Okay. So thank you for attending the interview sessions. And you were already one of the speaker at the DevRelCon Tokyo 2020, but unfortunately, our previous conference is cancelled. So
Yep.
sorry about that. But,
No problem. I think it was a global phenomenon that that made you cancel. So
No, yeah, but I want to say thank you to send your proposal again, and I very welcome you as one of the speaker at DevRelCon Tokyo 2021.
thank you very much, and let's hope that next year we can do it in person again.
Yes, definitely. So at first, could you please introduce yourself, and you can talk about your favorite technology, program language, frameworks, or your favorite pet, sport, hobby, or anything about you.
Okay, sure thing. So my name is Jaap Brasser. I'm based out of Amsterdam. You already mentioned I'm a developer advocate at Rubrik, and I have a big passion for scripting and automation in general. Favorite languages or frameworks? Nothing in particular. I use quite a few of them, and I don't like to pin myself to a single framework. Favorite animal though, that would either be my dog or a quokka, because quokkas are just very cute. So if you would head over to my GitHub, I have a bunch of quokka pictures on my GitHub profile. So yeah, that's Jaap in a nutshell.
Okay, I don't know what is the pet name, Quokka?
A quokka is a small kangaroo-like animal in Australia.
I
And
see.
they're very photogenic, so they're very very
Mm,
likable little animals.
I see. And could you ask your company's rubric? It's I think it's a crowd data vendor, right?
Yeah, that's right. So we do cloud data management. So that's anything from backup and recovery to identifying the types of data that are there, or anti-ransomware solutions. It's a very broad product.
I see. And I saw your profile, and you write on the you spend your time fiddling around with APIs. So
That is correct.
what kind of API your favorite one?
API, my favorite one. You mean from a vendor or from?
No, like payment APIs or like a control instance API or anything.
So I play around the most with the public cloud APIs, so Azure and AWS.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'd had to pick a third party that's not Rubrik, then I would go for probably go for AWS over Azure.
Oh, yeah. I saw you got the Microsoft Azure MVP
Yeah,
multiple times, right?
yeah, that's correct. I've been in the
So,
Microsoft world for quite some time.
So I think Microsoft Azure MVP separates each technology, right? Like data SQL server or instance or like something APIs. So what is your favorite technology on Azure?
Within Azure, I'd say probably the Microsoft Graph API.
Graph API.
So
Oh,
it's a very user-friendly, very well-documented API that makes it very simple to get information directly from Azure.
I see. You got the MVP as personally, or it's a you use the Azure API in your company.
So we use it both within our
Mm,
company because our product also protects and runs on top of Azure. But
mm.
I also use Azure personally
Oh,
as
great.
well. I need to have things running in the cloud, and
Mm-hmm.
I like to fiddle around with APIs or build sometimes useful, sometimes just fun
Mm-hmm.
fun things in the cloud just to see if I can.
I see. Okay. So we will move to the next topic about your
Mhm.
talk. So could you explain or talking about abstract of your talk, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So my talk is also about APIs, as that is a big passion of mine, and specifically about the road to creating better API documentation, because this is one of my frustrations whenever I have to work with a new API. If the documentation isn't there, or the documentation is out of date, or there's no usable examples to get started, it can be quite hard to wrap your head around it, to understand how to implement it, and how to integrate that API into your application or your workflow. So as part of the journey at Rubik, we've been working at creating better API documentation, and also build the processes around it, and automate some of the steps along the way to create better documentation, to take into account the feedback we get from our customers, from our end users, to create a better API experience.
I see. So I'm 100% agree about the better documentation is very important for developer relations. So could you give me ideas how to make the better documentation? Like I think most of developers doesn't want to writing too much, writing the article too much. So
Mhm.
how to improve it?
Um, well, I agree with I agree with that most developers don't see it as the most the most interesting, or maybe even the least interesting part would be to write the documentation about a function. But having been in the position of an end user, and having to consume the documentation, it does show that it is important.
Mm,
For me, um, it's been different steps. So part
mm,
of it is liaising with the engineering department to talk to the people that actually build the specific parts that build the API endpoints, and
mm,
to get their thoughts on it, to have them put in uh, improvements there.
mm,
If that's not a possibility, then I will dive into how I think it should work, then create documentation for it. Another part of it was to make sure that there's good examples available, and not just have an example of how this specific API endpoint works, but also what if a customer wants to get from point A to point B, and take a number of steps along the way. How would you use the API and the different endpoints there to get there? And those are the kind of improvements we've made. We've got them use cases to help our end users and customers to consume our API.
I see. And I watching your proposal. So you write on the generating API documentation. So I think Swagger or Open API specification is good document format, I think. So
Yep.
how about that?
Yep, that's the format that we use as well. It can, of course, easily be used to generate documentation, and that's also what we've built the tooling on top of to add in either additional examples and to further streamline the documentation creation there.
I see. So every day, I think just a little problem in Open API specifications. They don't support localizations or internationalizations. So I think Holland speak English or another language, and in the Europe, so many people speak another language. So, but maybe Open API specification supports just English only, I think. So, how about to the improve it to localize or translate another language?
That is something that we've worked on with our SDKs and with our modules, but we've never gotten any further than actually doing machine-based translation and just fixing the most glaring issues. But I think there's definitely a lot of room for improvement, and even for people that are comfortable in English, it can be useful to have the documentation in your own language, because it's the mother tongue for people. So it might be easier to understand and to make technology even more accessible for a bigger part of the population. So I think that is something that I would like to see more improvements in going forward.
I see. Because this is DevRelCon Tokyo, and most of Japanese cannot speak English well. So they need a Japanese document so much. Yeah. It's a very big problem in Japan, I think.
Yes, I hear that often from my Japanese colleagues as well. Whenever there's a new feature out, and if there's no Japanese documentation yet, it's troublesome to get it to market there. How is the quality of machine translation from English to Japanese? Has that improved over the years? Because that's
yes.
hard for me to judge.
Yeah, it's improving every day, every years. So 5 years ago, we used a Google Translation. Its quality is so-so, but currently we use a DeepL. It's a more high qualities. So I think next year or next years we can get more smooth translation system. So maybe we don't need to the handmade translation anymore. I hope so.
Or just have the hand translation just to make the flow of the sentences better until the models catch up with natural language.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's one of the challenges as well when it comes to the East Asian languages, because they're so different from English. The translation is also harder because Dutch is relatively close to English in sentence structure, the kind of words that are used. So it's easier to translate. So it's good to hear that there's developments there.
Yeah, I know. So if when I translate from Japanese to Chinese, I cannot read Chinese, so I don't know this Chinese is good quality or bad qualities.
Mhm.
Okay, so interview time is over already. Sorry.
Okay, no
So
problem at all.
thank you, Jap. So you have a great career of documentation or API documentations. So I strongly recommend every developers or every advocate evangelist should listen your talk and get the knowledge of the API documentations. Okay,
Thank you very
and
much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
yes, and Jap, I hope you also will enjoy DevRelCon Tokyo with us. Okay, and yeah, thank you again.
Yeah, thank you
Okay,
very much, and I look forward to the conference. Have a great
yes,
day.
yes, I can't wait listen your talk. Okay, so today's interview is done. Listen again, our conference DevRelCon Tokyo 2021 will be held on the June 5th. Everyone save the date and waiting the day. Okay, see you next interview. Bye.